Welcome all you design enthusiasts and aspiring interior designers to designing. Are you ready to level up your creativity and make your mark in the world of interior design? You've come to the right place. In this video, we'll dive into the transformative power of goal setting and how it can help you unleash your true potential as an interior designer. Goal setting is a secret ingredient that can elevate your interior design skills, your projects, and your career to new heights. It's not just about having a dream or a vision. It's about creating a clear, actionable plan that will guide you towards success, one step at a time. And let me tell you, the results can be truly spectacular. In this video, we'll uncover the science behind effective goal setting. You'll learn how to craft powerful, achievable goals that will inspire and motivate you to push the boundaries of your creativity. We'll learn about SMART goals and why they are important. And then we'll head over to Notion to create a database for our goals. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your journey in the world of interior design, get ready to be inspired, empowered, and equipped with the tools you need to bring your most ambitious design dreams to life. If you like this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with all our latest content. Let's do this together. So why is goal setting important? As an interior designer, it's crucial to set clear and achievable goals to grow your business. And this will help you deliver successful projects. Goals can help interior designers identify their objectives, and then you can create a roadmap to achieve them. So let's have a look at the stats. 92% of people fail to achieve their goal, but setting up specific goals can increase success rates by up to 33%. And 76% of high achievers attribute their success to setting clear goals and regularly reviewing them. As an interior designer, it's crucial to set clear and achievable goals to grow your business. This will help you deliver successful projects. SMART goals can help interior designers identify their objectives, and then you can create a roadmap. So what's a SMART goal, and why would we want to use one? So designers who use SMART goals are 42% more likely to succeed compared to those who don't. 72% of interior designers who reported high job satisfaction use SMART goals in their career planning. So SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And each of these criteria plays an essential role in creating effective goals. So these are the goals that drive your interior business forward. So let's have a look at each of these elements in detail and see how they can benefit your interior design goals. So let's have a look at specific. Your goals should be clear and concise. So instead of setting vague objectives like improving client satisfaction, you need to set a specific target. And this could be something like increase client satisfaction by 20% by the end of the year. Specific goals help you focus your efforts and avoid distraction. So the next one is measurable. To track your progress towards your goal, you need to have a way of measuring it. So you need to identify the key performance indicators and make sure that they align with your goals. And then you should check them at intervals. If your goal is to increase revenue, then you can track the number of clients, the average project value, and the number of repeat customers. So if your goal is to increase revenue, you can actually choose which performance indicator you would like to measure. It could be all three. The next one is achievable. So you need to set realistic goals that are within your reach. And though we should aim high, setting unrealistic goals can demotivate you and your team. So consider your available time, your resources, your budget, and set your goals according to them. So
For example, think about whether it's reasonable, for example, to certain number of clients in a given time frame. And you need to base it on the implementation of your specific strategies. The next one is relevance. Your goal should align with your long-term vision and your mission. So if you haven't got a copy of my brand board, there is a Notion template that you can download, and I'll leave a link in the description, and you can actually set out your vision and your mission. Your goal should be relevant to your interior design business and the market that you serve. And if your target audience is a high-end luxury client, your goals should reflect that. So ensure you've compiled your vision and your mission for your business and store it on your brand bank on Notion. The last one is time bound. Now you need to set a deadline for achieving your goals, and this helps you stay focused and accountable. If you need to, break down your goals into smaller milestones and then create a timeline for achieving them. Okay, so here we are in Notion, and the first thing we're going to do is this is a brand new page. I'm first going to give it a title. So for interior designers. So the goal here is to set up a goal setting page that is linked, that we can link to our SMART goals. So if you've received my interior designer template, you would know that there is a goal part there. So if you go up down here and you look at the goals database, it's not really linked to much. We haven't really talked about the SMART goals or whatever. So I'm just going to start building out this page. So first thing we're going to do is make it full width. And we are going to just build it out from scratch. So I want to put in a quote here to inspire. Going to use a Tony Robbins quote. So setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Now, you'll probably notice that we actually are repeating work. As an ex-teacher, one of the best ways to learn a tool is by actually using project-based learning. And so this is the reason why I go in detail and teach you a few tricks. So this is a quote block. And if you want to make a quote block, you can just do QU, that's the quote. And what I want to do is give it a color. I'm just going to give it a color of orange. And you can highlight that and give that another color if you want, and make it blue if you would like, and make it large. Here we have our quote. And now what we want to do is create an underline. So the easiest way to do it is to hit the dash key 3 times very quickly. Now, I like to give myself a bit of room. So I'm just going to move this down a bit. I like a little bit of white space in my designs. We can add an icon, and we could choose something like a mountain or a volcano. Yes, it is a insurmountable hike up this mountain. So this is one of the ways I like to think about goals. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So I like to give myself a little bit of room here. And the first thing we're going to do is build out our goal database. So we're going to actually create a database, and we're going to create it as a full page. So you'll see now, I'm just going to call this SMART goals. Here's SMART goals for interior designers. Let's just call this test so that I know what that is. Let's just add an icon, and I use target to mean goals. So we've got this here. If you go back to the main page, you'll see it sitting here. Now, I like to actually have a links section. And so I'm just doing exactly what I did before, and I'm just going to move it up. So I'm going to put all our databases and the links to our databases. Now, we try not to look at the databases or spend a lot of time entering in details here. I'm going to turn this into a heading 2. And we are going to head back to here and start setting up the database. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just change the name here. If you just click on the top, we can just change it to goals. I want to add a property and I'm going to change it to a time. I like to think of goals as related to quarters. I'm going to just change it to a select and I'm going to call this quarters. I'm going to add an option here. So it's Q1, Q4. And if you want to add the year to that, then feel free. I'm just going to bring that to the other side. The next thing I want to do is add a status. I'm just going to change this. You can see now it's a multi-select. And I'm just going to change this to another select. There actually is a property called status, but we're not going to use that at the moment. I'm just going to just call this status. And then we can go and edit the property and then add some options. I'm going to add active and then I'm going to go on hold. Maybe we don't have enough resources. That doesn't mean that we can't put it on our database if it is on hold and then future. And of course, then you can create a filter and just have this view of your database where you have goals that are on hold that maybe you don't have space to do at this particular moment, but you have recorded them. So that makes it even more real. We've got our status here. And the next thing we want to do is add in a date. I like to call this a target completion date. This is to do with our time-bound target. So we're not going to hold ourselves completely to this because I am probably like you guys and I have lots of aims and I sometimes don't manage to achieve my targets. And well, I'm going to change this to day, month, year because I'm in Australia and that's how we write dates. You can change that to whatever format you would like. Then we have our types of goals. So I'm going to change this to a multi-select. This is just a property where you can just categorize the types of goals that you have. You might not do a lot with it, but we are going to make sure that we have a few categories. So let's just say, business goals, then we have relationships, then we have, let's say, professional development, then we have career goals, we might have personal development, and let's say health and fitness. We'll put them in one. Okay, so there we have the types of goals. And now we're going to add our relations. Now, I'm going to relate these database that I created in the template, which is this one here in our daily dashboard. So I've actually created these databases and we can then link to these. Let's just go back to where I was before. The first thing we're going to link is our projects. I'm going to create a relation and I'm going to find the projects and I'm going to just call it Smart Goals. Add a relation. So I think I'm good there. And we could also even, let's just edit that property and just change it to projects because that's quite long. Okay, and then let me just actually change it to test because I'm probably going to delete these. So let me just say, so that's my projects. Then I'm going to add it to my tasks. With every goal, we should link it to our project, to a project and a task. This is because in order to action our goals, we've got to actually break up our goals into projects. Then we can break those up into tasks. Now, just a word about projects. Projects are kind of like anything that is more than 1 or 2 tasks is a project. So you can have small projects and big projects. You can have projects that are made up of lots of little projects. Most of my projects I actually build in this way. Let's head back to our relation and we're going to add our tasks. You can find that here, and I'm just going to just call that test, and I'm going to add that relation, and I'm just going to change that to there. So update that. And so we've got my tasks, my projects, and then we might want to add in some knowledge. So we might just, again, have a relation, and we're just going to call this knowledge. So we have a knowledge base here, and we can just call this a test. We add a relation, and there we have here. So now we can just rearrange a few things, and I think we do need our status, our goals. Now, before we move on, what we want to do is actually create a new template. So we're just going to go up to this blue box here, head to new template, and create a template. So the first thing is, in order to actually save you a bit of time, you can actually add the icon here and it will automatically generate itself. So I usually just call this Smart Goals template, and you know you're on a template because you've got this beige bar here, and you can see here you're editing a template in Smart Goals for Interior Designers test page. I'm going to go into H1 to make that a nice big heading. So my Smart Goal, and we're going to call it a plan. And then we're going to use a call out block. The call out block gives you, I always use them for instructions. So again, the backslash is our best friend. So we're just going to type CAL, and we get this call out block. Now this icon here, you can change out for anything that will populate with the last icon you use. So we can change this here. We can go into the icons and maybe just change that to an arrow. And we can say explain. So I want to make sure that when I go in, I can add a cover I'll show you why I want to do that. Now I'm going to add my divider again. Again, I'm going to press dash key 3 times very quickly. And we have it here. I'm going to give myself a bit of white space. And then I'm going to outline the goal. And again, I'm going to type in the 3 dashes. Then I'm going to give myself a bit of space. And then I'm going to say, what is my motivation? Again, and then 3 dashes and hit them very fast. And we can add in a few of the other Smart Goals. I've actually got one that I've actually created before. So I'm just going to copy it. And you can see here, we're going to add some spaces, and I'm just going to put it in here. Now, these are just bullet blocks. We can just delete and make it a bit closer. And in order to put a bullet block, we just go backslash and then bullet. And we're going to add that there. So we can just add bullets and lead us to our Smart Goals. So after we've done that, what we also want to do is go back and change this to the default template. So we don't want an empty page as a default. We just go into here and we go set as default. And we want to do it for all views. Here, what we're going to do is just change that to all goals. This is just a general view of everything. So we can then create some goals here. So let's just say we'll set up a few different goals. So we can say get fit. What other goals can we have? We can have get more clients. Now, of course, that's not a SMART goal yet. So we want to give a lot more detail than that, but that's what the template is for. So get 1,000 followers on Instagram. And then we might have write my SOPs. And you can see here, I've actually used the template, and it's probably, if I open it here, you can see it's already populated. So I can fill that in there. And you can see here, it just, when I click on it, it just comes up like that. If I just delete it, it still seems to populate it because it's by default. But I'm going to now, let's say, build my Notion interior design page. What we want to do is assign it some quarters. I'm just going to make this a little bit. So let's go 1, 1, 2, 2, and we'll make that 3. Okay. And we can just say that they're all active. We'll make this the last one on hold. We've got a target completion date. Let's just make them all this. Let's go get fit. We can just change this to, let's say, the 12th. Now, obviously, they're not in line with the right quarters, and we're not counting. Let me just take that back a bit. No, that was before today. Let's make it there. Okay, so now we have that. We can just go and say, so get fit, that has to do with health, get more clients, that's got to do with business, get more following, so that might be to do with business again. I mean, these are all business, so let's just, and we can then link it to whatever page. So for example, with my followers on Instagram, I could just choose this here. And we can go through and then link it to our tasks. In order to achieve our goals, we need to actually assign it a project. Okay, so let's say the Instagram one, we have social media creation. The Get Fit one, we've got our running club. We can just add in more of these, and then we just add in, it might be here, join a gym is something that we want to do. Let's say here, let's say we want to write a new Notion video, okay, because that's got to do with my social. Then let's just head back there, and you can see it's hidden. What we want to do now is to create a view. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a view. It's \CR, and we're going to create a linked view of this database. And I think it is this one. Yeah, it's my test database. We've created a view, and what we want to do now is create a goal. So I'm just going to look at, let's say we're going to call that 2023, since I'm going to call that 2023, since they're all for this year. And I might want to create a couple more views. So I might want to just do the current quarter. So again, I'm going to create this view, and I'm going to use a filter, and I'm going to just filter out the ones that are in Q1. These are my goal, and I'm going to pretend we're in quarter 1. I'm going to go current quarter, or you could just call it quarter 1, and you could have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 moving around from here. The other thing I want to do is, if you remember before, we talked about visualizing. So one of the things we can do is create another view, and instead of creating this table view, we can go in here and create a gallery. If we go into the gallery and we hit the layout, we can see it has the card preview, page contents, and the card size medium. What we want to change is we're going to add page covers to create a inspirational image. So we're going to add the cover, and I'm just going to use Unsplash, but you can just use whatever you would like. Let's go running, and we can hit that there, and you can reposition it if you want. Okay, save the position. Okay, the next thing is get more clients. So let's add another cover. I might speed up the video here. And I'm just going to make sure that each of these have the Smart Goals template. So we're back here and we've done this. And the next thing I want to do is underneath here, we've got our main database. Now we always want to just be working in here. So here I'm just going to rename this and call this mood board. Then what I would like to do is then just create a heading for this. So I'm just going to go with a heading 2 and I'm just going to call this goal mood board, because this is going to be the view board. And then what I would like is that we actually have linked views of our original databases for tasks and projects here. We might want to have a look at them while we're working on our goals. So I'm just going to go into our database here and I'm just going to go and copy the link. You can see here you've got 3 views. You can create a linked view. You can mention the page and dismiss. So I just want to mention the page. I'm just going to go and do that again for the projects database, which is, I think it is this one. Is this it? Yeah. Let's just go into that database. I want to view the database. I want to copy the link, and then I want to go back to here and I just want to paste it in here. So again, I'm just going to mention it as a page. So now we have all the databases that we'll use on this page here. We can always find where we are. The next thing I want to do is underneath, and we'll rearrange the page at the moment, is give ourselves views of both of these databases. We're going to be reviewing our databases every month. So I want to separate the databases into monthly tasks and monthly projects. Let's just start with an H2 and then just call this monthly tasks. And then we'll just call another H2 and we'll call this monthly projects. I want to create some underlining here and just separate them so you know how. Now we're going to create a view of this. We're going to create a linked view and we're going to find our task database. And we can see here it's giving us all of these tasks and we might want to redo this. But what we want to do now is adjust this view and we're going to call it current tasks, or we can call it monthly tasks. This is a test database, so it doesn't actually have any tasks in it. But what we can do is now add a filter, and then we want to filter out the due date here, and we want it relative to this month. It means that only tasks that are due this month will appear here. The other thing we want to do is we're just going to hide this title since we already have a title here. We might want to just play around with the categories. I think here you might want to have clients or whatever. So you might want to add your SMART goals, but you just play around with whatever you would like. You could have the due date, you could have the priority, the category, whether it's done or not. You can see I've actually linked it to the other goals, and this is our SMART goals one. The next thing we want to do exactly the same, but for the projects. So we're going to create again a linked view of the database, and we're going to find our projects. And we've got this new view, and I have already created a view which is already filtered. So let's just pretend it's not filtered. And we know here, for example, we want to just create a monthly project that is in progress. So things that we're actually working on the moment. So we do have a status here that exists. And what we want to do is mark the project. We could do this a lot easier in a different way, but okay. So let's say we want to, and just for your information, if you have a big database like this and then there's heaps, the way you move around it is you hold the shift key and you can actually scroll sideways. So that's awesome. And so let's just go into the filter. So we're just going to filter it by status. We're going to just say everything that's in progress, we'll call it current projects. Okay. Now, one thing that is always good if you design a template or whatever is just put your copyright on it. The way that you do that is hit Control and G or Option and G. And then I'm just going to write in designing and the date. We have basically most of the things. Now let's just move some stuff around and make it look a bit prettier. Let's just add in some resources. So we might want to have this video, for example, on this page so you can remind yourself. So I'm just going to create this. Okay, and I'm going to change that to an H1 or H2, let's say here. And we might want to add some videos. And we also might want to put some articles you would like. So you can just change these into H3s. And I'll just change this to an H3 here. And we might want to then embed this video. Once I've made this video, I'll put the link in here. And then again, I might want to embed a PDF or whatever. I might leave that blank. But now we have all of this. So what I want to do now is put this next to here and just rearrange a little bit. And the other trick that I'm going to show you, if you hold down, if you find a block and you want to duplicate it, the easiest way to do it is go into the 6 dots, hold the Option or Control key, and then just copy it. So I'm just going to make it line up, and we're going to just have these videos and these articles. So I'm just going to copy those and then just nest it underneath there. And I want this here underneath here. And I probably want to hide this. So I want to hide the database title so it looks nice and neat. That's all nicely lined up. I can actually see my other, even though it says mood board, I can see the other ones, but I'm just going to leave it on the images there because it's prettier. And then I can take this here, my 2 databases, and I'm just going to move them maybe around here. I've got my monthly tasks, and then I can do my monthly projects. I'm just going to find here, and I'm just going to move this underneath. There and then there. I've got my monthly tasks. We might just put in a few of these here. So that's that one there and there. We've got our links there. We might tuck that underneath here. let's say here. So we know where they are, and we'll just move all of this up here. Just move them one by one. So let's go here and here. And then we can move our thing here. So there we are. So you'll probably see, so that's basically the template. We're just going to move these two up a bit to here, and there we have it. So you can actually put in whatever header you want and decorate this, whatever you might want, other links to other databases. But essentially with good goal setting, you've got your goals, you're linking them to your projects, and then you're linking them to your tasks. Now, finally, you might want to just add, if there's something that you have to come in, there is a brand new button or brand new function. So we're just going to try it out here. So here is this. So you can actually add pages to the SMART goals or the tasks. So let's say I'm going to add, and we're going to just do that. So you can say when the button is clicked, it's going to do, and then you can add another step. Okay, so you can also edit another property here. This is the first step of automation in Notion. So it's brand new. So I'm just going to call this add new task. And you can obviously add an icon here, and I'm just going to go done. And now I can just say underneath here, if I want to add a new task, I can go there and it creates a page. So let's just, whoops. Let's go in. Then you see down the bottom, then you open it, and then you can change the due date to this week. So let's say if I change it to here, then if I go back to there, I think that's what it's called here. Let me just go back. You can see that's the date and it's appeared. So if I go new task, so I might want to just make sure that new task, if we want to go and make sure that it has the due date, what we might want to do is just edit this again, and you can see there's a setting. So there, and then I want to call it new task. And then we want to edit another property, which is the due date. We want to select it to today, so it appears there. So it means that, so I'm going to go done. So if I go add new task again, there it appears here. I can go into it and then edit whatever. And I've got like a template that's already started. So that's pretty exciting. And you could do the same thing to the monthly projects. I'm just going to leave that there and enjoy making your goal setting dashboard and databases. And if you've got any questions, don't forget to email me or leave a comment below. And if you like content like this, I'll be building a ton of stuff in Notion, as well as digging into the things that we actually do need to know to set up our interior design business and really make it sing. So don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.